Hi, who are you and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Sofia, and I'm from Miami, Florida.
All right. And what do you do now?
I'm a student at Harvard University.
What's your major?
I'm studying history and literature and women, gender, and sexuality.
All right. And so, has the climate changed since you were a kid?
I think the climate has totally changed since I was a kid. Growing up in Miami, we could go to the beach every summer. I didn't have to deal with red tides or algae blooms or fish kills. And since then, the beaches have totally gotten worse. Often they're toxic and we can't go swimming. I've also dealt with more severe flooding, more severe hurricanes. Every single year now, there's at least, it feels like every single year there's a record amount of named storms, which as a child, I just didn't have to experience. Yeah, climate change is a lot more of a concrete reality now to me than it was back then.
Well, that was the next question. I mean, your everyday life, is it changed at all by climate or?
Yeah, I mean, totally. My everyday life in that living in Miami, living in an area that is at the forefront of the climate crisis, I definitely have to deal with the more visible effects of the climate crisis from the day to day. So that means flooding, that means extreme heat, that means fish kills, that means toxic environments to live in. That also means like climate racism and environmental pollution happening, which I think has really gotten worse since I was a kid. And then I also, here at Harvard, I'm here doing climate work. I'm involved in climate justice organizing. I worked with many climate nonprofits over the pandemic here in Miami, just because climate change is so pressing and such a dire problem to be addressed. So it's definitely affected the way I live my life, the way I understand my relationship to home, my relationship to Miami as a place that will not be there forever. Yeah.
I didn't anticipate this question, but you know so much about this issue. What about Boston? I mean,
Yeah.
don't they have some problems?
I mean, Boston also being a low elevation city, a city that is mostly landfill. So all of Boston was ocean. Before we filled it in, Boston is extremely vulnerable to climate change. Here at Harvard, much of this will be underwater in the coming decades, in the coming century, because of the effects of climate change and sea level rise, especially here at Harvard, where a lot of the streets that we are in now were streets that were landfilled when we're close to the river, and where our institutions like Harvard University continue to invest in fossil fuels, continue to take fossil fuel money, which then prevents climate action from happening. It just feels all the more likely that we will be seeing these effects in the near future.
Well, you anticipate every question I'm about to ask, and that's the next one. Are you optimistic or pessimistic about our future? And is there anything we can do about it?
I am optimistic about my future only because I'm optimistic that there will be more young people in the positions of power necessary to change these. I look towards people like Maxwell Frost in my home state of Florida, who is now the first Gen Z member of Congress. He is a more progressive member. He believes in the realities of climate change. Not even believes, he agrees and confirms the realities of climate change. And I think that's the only thing that keeps me going. My generation and young people willing to step up and fight for our future and our children's future and our grandchildren's future, the future of our homes and the places we live. But I think that's the only thing that keeps me going, knowing that the people who are in power right now will soon be out of power, and things will change for the better then.
Any final thoughts?
No, that's all.
Well, that was terrific. I can't thank you enough. Thank you from Harvard Square.
Yeah. See you.
Thank